Hi, everybody. It's March 8th, doing end of the day update here. We've been pretty busy breaking down the BLS report. We did that quick update this morning, but wanted to go into more depth on it and actually show you why the labor market is even a little bit more challenged than what we've talked about. And that could lead Chairman Powell and the Fed to potentially ramp up their talks of lowering rates. So we wanted to talk first on the headline number that everybody's seeing, 275,000 jobs created. While on that face, that sounds great. When you dig deep into the revisions, the household survey, and other information, it's not strong at all. So let's kind of go through these numbers here in detail. So the February jobs number, like I said, up 275,000. Estimated number was 200,000. The January revision downward was minus 124,000. The December revised downward was minus 43,000. So that's some big numbers. A negative 167,000 jobs downward. Now remember, everybody made huge waves and slaps on the back for the January number that showed 320 plus thousand jobs created. Well, it doesn't sound all that solid now, does it? And of course, unfortunately, we're not getting back all that we lost when that came out. Anytime we get these revisions, it doesn't have the same effect as when that headline number comes out, unfortunately. Now, when we dig even deeper, the 275,000 jobs created, where did that come from? Well, 151,000, or 65% of the total, came from the birth-death model. Now, the birth-death model is when the imputed data that the BLS uses for small business creations and closures. 65% of the job growth was from that. Now, that's in stark comparison to actual data that ADP has that showed 13,000 jobs created from small business. So that's actual data versus the BLS imputed numbers or guesses to the birth-death model. Very, very different. So imagine 151,000 minus 13. If you take 13,000 away from that, that's an overestimate really of 138,000 jobs. So really, that 275 doesn't look anywhere where it really is. Now, within those numbers, we talk about wage pressure. The average hourly earnings rose 0.1%. That's down 0.1 year over year, so less than expected. Average weekly earnings did come up more than expected at 0.4%, and that brought the year over year up 0.5%. Average hours worked stayed pretty stagnant, 34.3 hours from 34.2. So basically flat. Now that's the establishment survey or the headline survey. The other item that you really have to look at is the household survey, because that's when they're actually picking up the phone, contacting people to do a survey of what's actually going on versus guesstimates. So the household survey showed minus, not plus, minus 184,000 jobs. So a job loss. Total labor force grew by 150,000. The U3, which is the unemployment number, the headline unemployment number, rose from 3.7 to 3.9%. That's the total or all-in unemployment or headline. The U6, now the U6 is really a much better data point for what really job unemployment is and job market is. What that takes into effect is the people that are no longer on unemployment, and they only count the unemployed for 4 weeks. After that, they take it off the data. So the U6 puts that back together. The U6 unemployment grew from 7.2% to 7.3%. So our real unemployment is closer to the 7% range. Full-time employment, that dropped 180,000 jobs. Over the last 3 months, in fact, the full-time jobs lost was 1.781 million. It's a big number. Part-time jobs, once again, led the way, grew by 51,000. The last 3 month total part-time jobs plus 908,000 jobs. Where we can see where the jobs are growing is by part-time work. Many times that's full-time employees taking on a secondary job. So the net jobs lost the last 3 months, 898,000. Nowhere near what you're hearing in the media or anywhere that you're seeing things, especially within the political realm. So we have not net job gains, net job losses. So this is really important to understand. Now, most Fed members, keep in mind, 13 of the 15 projected unemployment to cap out at 4% or 4.1%. We're at 3.9% headline. So once we get to 4.1, 4.2, you're going to start to see a lot of pressure on the Fed to start to ease monetary policy, in other words, lower rates. So that's where we were. We spent a lot of time putting those numbers together. Wanted to get that to you before the end of the day. Next week, hold on, it's another big week. Consumer price index and producer price index, the inflation numbers. So that's on tap for next week. Let's see what we get. It's a great weekend to buy a house. Give us a call. We'll help walk you through it, get you pre-approved, give you the knowledge you need to make educated choices. The Market Update Desk, the singular original market news source for West Michigan. Give us a call, 616-293-2189. Have a great weekend.